Hi guys, Brooke here. Welcome to Legal Talk Tuesday, and this is our business edition. Today I'm going to just share 5 quick questions to ask your business lawyer when you are starting a new business. So, number 1, what business structure should I choose? Before you start your small business, you really need to decide how your business will be structured. A lot of times I'll ask my clients to reach out to their CPA so that way I have a more holistic view of their goals. Sometimes we do that concurrently. Sometimes I have them do that first before they come talk to me. But if you don't form a formal business entity, then your business is either going to be just by default a sole proprietorship if you have one owner, or a general partnership with more than one owner. So legally in the situation, your business is going to be the same person as you, even though businesses can't be people. Technically, you're not separate from your business. So if your business has any debts or is sued or anything like that, you're going to be personally liable for those obligations. So it's really important to be intentional about your business structure. The second thing that I'm going to talk about is, what do I need to know about choosing a name for my business? So, people usually have a name when they come to me. They're pretty excited about it and they've already thought it through, and that's the name they really want to use. When I'm working with new business clients, I ask them to give me at least 2 backups, because you need to really consider legal issues before you start ordering signs or getting business cards or putting a whole lot of money behind that name that you've picked, because every state has different rules about names that new businesses can use. And you also generally cannot use a name that somebody else is already using. So it can be really risky if you're using that name, because it might be infringing on another business's registered trademark, or you can get into all sorts of complications. So doing a quick Google search is helpful, but you still want to check with an attorney so they can do a more thorough trademark search to make sure that you're not going to get in that situation. Because one, you don't want to have to deal with legal issues, but also rebranding is a nightmare. So the third thing, what do I need to know about my operating agreement or my bylaws? They're really kind of the same and separate, just depending on how you're set up. So your corporate bylaws and your LLC operating agreement, and I'm talking specifically about LLCs right now because that's what I see most frequently. If you're doing, if you're a corporation, if you're set up that way, then you're going to have your shareholder agreement. But they kind of function as the same. There's just different nuances in each document. But with corporate bylaws and LLC operating agreements, they provide really important guidelines for how your business is going to do business, how you're operating. So these documents really explain how decisions are going to be made, when and how meetings are held, how to handle any ownership changes or death, anything like that. And so it's really important that you have these, even if you are a single member LLC. If you're just one person, there's a lot of reasons for that. And I did a video last month, I believe, on that. And I'll try to remember to go back and link it in the comments for this. You can go back and listen to why it's important to have an LLC operating agreement, even if you're a single member LLC. But an attorney can help you, figure out what all you need to put in your operating agreement, what needs to be in your bylaws, what's important, what's state specific that's required, how that might operate and how that might function, also how that's going to impact your business. The fourth thing is, what contracts does your business need? Sometimes you don't know what all you need. Obviously, if you work with clients, directly as a service provider, you maybe need a service contract. But these contracts protect your business by describing all the rights and responsibilities of the parties to the agreement. So that's a pretty straightforward one that a lot of service businesses need. But there are other things that we may not think of, and that may be whether we have a contract with a vendor or even contracts to do business with other people as contractors, freelancers, whatever. So there are different things depending on your business that you may need. And a well-written contract can really reduce the number of disputes that are going to arise between parties. Everybody sets and manages those expectations up front. You want to make sure that you get paid for the work. You want to really provide a clear path, a clear remedy if one of the parties breaches and doesn't hold up their end of the bargain. What happens next? How can you pursue that? How do you, enforce the contract? How do you get money? Whatever. But there are several routine things that your business may need just to protect confidential information, employment relationships. It's really important if you have employees to have some kind of employee documentation, contracts to really set out those expectations. These contracts are really about expectations and also providing you the, support that you need to be able to enforce the contract, enforce agreements that you have in place. Also leases, those are contracts. Some people don't think of that as a contract, but other major transactions. So just think about all the things in your business where you're working with somebody else and you really need to manage expectations. You probably need a contract there. And lastly, number 5, what other risks should I be guarding against, protecting my business against? What risk do I need to look out for? And this is going to vary from business to business. So every business faces unique sets of risk and every business is different. So, I work with a variety of different business owners, and there are some industries that require certain provisions to be included or need to be handled a certain way because maybe in their business, standard business is conducted a certain way. So we want to make sure that it's not just some template that's applied to every single type of business, because that's where you can get in trouble if you go online and just print a general one off and think, oh, I can just use this contract. It's a service contract, but what kind of service are you doing? So that's why it's really important to at least have an attorney review your documents, if not draft them for you, or have a consultation with an attorney. So that way you can really understand how that contract fits your business goals, and the unique circumstances surrounding your specific business. So, some of these risks can be minimized by the contracts that I talked about. If you form your business entity, that will help as well. There's all sorts of proactive steps that you can take. Sometimes, insurance is something you want to look into, commercial insurance. Some professions require it, some don't, but there are all sorts of ways that you can protect yourself and protect your business. So it's really important to make sure on the front end that you don't, kick your legal services down the list too far when you get started, because it's a lot more difficult to go back and change things, fix things. And sometimes people come to us and it's too late. I can't really do much to help them at that point. So just a few things when you're starting your business to keep in mind that you may want to ask your business attorney and have a discussion about how that's going to impact you in your business. So thanks for tuning in today. Laura will be here next Tuesday at 11:30 a.m. Central Time to chat with everyone about some estate planning stuff. So I hope everybody has a great week.